Hello again, welcome back to another tarot reading. I got my woodwick candle burning, so if you hear a little crackle pop in the background, that's what you're hearing. Okay, so I know that there's a lot that I want to say, and there's a lot of energy that I think wants to be expressed and spoken to, so I'm just going to honestly start by pulling some random cards and seeing what this is about. So the Hermit's on the bottom, so there's some internal processing, maybe some quiet time, or like a little period. I see an image of you walking, or a person walking through a door or into a doorway, and it's like, I don't know, different symbolisms could be there. One meaning could be that you're like, it's almost like the feeling of like, you know, waiting for someone that you're seeing for an appointment to open the door to let you in, or, you know, someone to open the door to present an opportunity, or someone, my cat's about to use the litter box. And it's interesting because doors and privacy and bathrooms and whatever, and she's doing her thing, right? She's part of our reading. Yeah, but there's a period of like contemplation and stillness, and I just see a person standing next to a door and a wall, and so it's like there's either there's just something happening behind closed doors that you can't see. You could be holding out for something, or building something, or creating something that on a spiritual level, on a subtle level, you can't actually perceive per se what is happening or being made, but there are works in progress. Okay. Okay, so I did pull 3 cards, but I'm getting the number 3, and I'm feeling energy of, there's like a woman, a strong woman, and I see her with a belt made of coins, and she has curly hair. It's either black or orange, and she looks like she could be Romanian or Gypsy or something. Okay, and then so I pulled these 2 cards. What did I pull? Interesting. I pulled the 10 of Swords and the 6 of Wands, and then I pulled the 10 of Cups. So I don't know how to decode the symbolism in my mind. I'm going to do my best. When I pulled the 10 of Cups without looking, I saw the image of that woman. And energetically, when I looked at her, I felt a little bit of an aversion. So this could represent an energy in your life of, this is Miss Girl. She's having some food. This is Butter, if you're new here. She's the love of my life. And yeah, she's here with us always. But yeah, when I pulled this card and I saw the image of this woman, I felt an aversion, and honestly, I was feeling, it was like energetically the same imprint that I felt before around narcissists, and I just feel this allergy. And she was like all dressed all lavishly, but beneath the surface there were evil qualities. And she was just very much like showy and like pig-like, and cared more about appearances and flashiness and status and external whatever, more than genuine good characteristics of being human. And I pulled this, and I literally felt like this energy of like someone is flashing their wealth, or it's like an I told you so energy, or like a rubbing it in your face kind of energy. This one is a tricky one. with the Ten of Swords and the Six of Wands, you are successfully almost like letting go of certain chains. This could speak to how maybe you're going through something in your life where a really harmful, toxic, traumatic, painful cycle is had kind of shackles around you for a while. But you're in a place where you're actually successfully moving on from the end of it. And there's something about righteous recognition, and it's like whatever it was in your life that this image of a woman that I'm seeing represents for you. It's like joy out of reach, or a false image of joy, or false guidance or leadership or seduction towards some place or thing or way that was not genuinely the true Ten of Cups, the true fulfillment, the true North Star. So it's almost as if like the image of this like narcissistic, the illusions, the lies, the falsehoods, the chains, it's like they're being broken. They've been broked, because I was thinking yoked. The yoke has been broken of those things over you. And it's like there's a genuine recognition in the spirit happening in your field of genuine joy, genuine happiness. And it's like in life, when we are believing for something, having faith in something, and we have to let go of the chains of limiting beliefs or doubts or past traumas that give us all these reasons not to believe that what we long for and yearn for is already ours. We have to let go of those chains and surrender to the will of God, because we have no control over them, over the world, over man. And it's kind of one of those arcs where it's like, you gotta trust God, not man. You can't always trust people. The systems that are in place in the world right now are not safe and reliable all the time. Think about how many people are wrongly accused of crimes they didn't commit. Think about how many people are funneled through institutions and systems and situations that dehumanize them and steal their dignity. And think about how many times in life you've gotten the short end of the stick just because someone was having a bad day, but you did nothing to deserve it. Or just because someone had something going on and, you made a mistake, or you had a human moment, or you were simply just breathing in their direction, and they all of a sudden made up a problem about you. And it doesn't reflect your character. It doesn't reflect who you are. It is not a just reflection of your spirit, of your character. And sometimes in life, we're literally placed in situations where, in order to move forward and claim our promises and agree with God, agree with the word of God that we are going to receive what we have faith for. In order to do that, we need to break these chains that all of them taught you to have, if that makes sense. That the institutions, the toxic relationships, the dead-end kind of situations, or, past traumas as well. We need to be willing to let those go. And it doesn't mean, letting go doesn't mean force. It doesn't mean knowing how it's going to happen. It doesn't mean having certainty. It doesn't mean feeling comfortable. But it does mean acknowledging that there is a disparity between the way that you've been set up your traumas, the way that you've been treated, the appearance externally of the world, or the state of things that you can see with your eyes right now. Understanding that there's a disparity between that and what it is that you know your mission is and what you know you were designed for. You know, it's kind of like rags to riches. It's like there are a couple of inspirational people on this planet. I mean, there's tons of them. But there's a few that have stories that are famous. And you know what? I don't actually know any of them off the top of my head, but I just know them as an archetype. Where it's like people come from the most unfortunate situations and somehow they have the most incredible success stories. And how do they do it? They never gave up. They kept faith. They kept their perspective in check. They kept it clean. They kept it in line with godly principles. And when I say this, I know how fucking hard it is to do that. And I'm not at all trying to say, stay positive and like ignore the fact that, you know, you are overcoming generational trauma and you're the first one in your bloodline to achieve what you've achieved. I'm not saying ignore how excruciating that feels. I'm not saying don't scream and cry and emote and grieve. I'm saying you made it this far and you're here right now, and there is a dream and a vision and a knowing in your spirit, and you are at a threshold in your life where the next thing that you're gonna step into might in some moments feel the furthest away that anything far away has ever felt. And you might be in a place where you can't see that thing. And it's like when you're in the moments where you're desperate and insecure and in that uncertainty and in the fear, it feels so total and so consuming that you think like, I have no choice but to give up. Or you recognize like somehow I'm still alive and still breathing, so that I'm going to decide I'm going to agree that that's proof that God is good. That's proof that God is here for me, even though nothing else is. You know, so it's kind of like one of those situations, and you are certainly not alone in that. So I'm going to pull maybe a few more and just see what wants to be said, because this is not a journey for the faint of heart, and you could be feeling pretty alone, or maybe you have like one or two people or that you can, relate to. Wow. Let me just see what's going on here. Okay, we kind of have a story here. I pulled 3 Wands cards in a row. I have the 7 of Wands, the 2 of Wands, and the 5 of Wands next to the Devil. So I previously pulled the 6. So you're successfully breaking chains away from the things that were causing you to act in your life from a place of responding to the trauma, the bondage. But now that the bondage is broken, it's almost as if you have all this, momentum, this leftover momentum and energy that your psyche is kind of in a panic over, not knowing what to do with. You're gonna experience recognition. You're gonna have moments, could be relationship connections, could be one-off moments when you go to the grocery store or go to the park and you have like an interaction, or you could feel seen, you could be receiving signs, you could be just having experiences where you feel recognized and triumphant, and with the 7 of Wands energy. And then it's like you're entering this new arc where I feel like this is kind of what's happening right now, the meat of it, the 2 of Wands. It's like your sense of action and alignment is waking up to your version of abundance, and that is a process in and of itself you could be battling, or you could have come from this, you could be going through this, or this could be kind of on the horizon if this is your reading, where it's like your soma, your flesh, your body has the memory of injustice and unfairness and imbalance and whatever it is for you, not being seen, not being heard, not being valued, not having a place to serve or to put your energy, your gifts into, with the 5 of Wands. So your body could remember that, and there could be some kind of re-trauma hashing, but it's almost like all this stuff is being drudged up because the purpose of this now is for the emotional architecture around those past experiences and your outdated psychological architecture or software, which is now kind of malware, basically. I think that's the right word, right? Like it's like a virus that your spirit, your body is just drudging up, and you're getting to kind of face it now and actually feel emotionally the grief of it. You could be coming up on a big cry or a big grief, or feeling emotions that have been maybe buried there for a while, or you could kind of reach a point where you feel like things are finally moving up a level or forward a level from a place of stagnancy and like inaction and nothing is kind of going on, and maybe apathy, to a place of finally just the waters overflowing and your heart is broken, and the waters are just being cleansed. And then on the other side of that, you're gonna feel so renewed, and you're gonna feel like you can see and feel your full self after that, with strength and the Empress. There's going to be a real sense of grounding, and it's like you can already probably feel that in bursts, because this is not just a linear story. This is a cycle. This is a process. This is an archetypal wave, and we ebb and flow in and out of different aspects of this journey constantly. But on the other side of this, you're going to feel like more of yourself. You're going to feel abundant, rich, powerful, strong, solid. And I'm excited for you for that. And I'm going to pull one final card of encouragement or advice. I have the Ace of Wands, so that's kind of cool. So you might be, you're in store for a burst of new energy and inspiration, and it's like when all this stuff is kind of over and done with and sorted through, and just when the process of your transformation is, has taken its course this time around, you're gonna notice that your spirit kind of is unlocked and unleashed, and the places where your energy was trapped before or used towards processing or cleaning up, and doing some kind of energetic janitorial work, so to speak, once that's done and everything gets to recharge and restore, you're going to wake up and you're going to have a moment or a day or a season you're going to walk into where your spiritual energy just comes back online. And all of a sudden you're ready to eat the world. You're hungry. You've got a zest, zeal for life again. And not that you don't have it, but it's just when you're, using your reserves of energy on such a powerful transformation process, it's like oftentimes there's not a lot of energy left over for not that. It becomes about self-protection. And, we entered this reading with the Hermit card, so, just, you're going to be re-entering with a bang. So I'm going to leave this here. If you want a reading, one-on-one, I do offer pre-recorded readings, specifically made for you. I just do them in the privacy of my own space because it helps me focus and tune in way easier than being in front of someone. But maybe someday I'll do live readings again. I don't know. Maybe in person. I've enjoyed that in the past. But anyway, info for my readings is in the description. And if you're interested, just send me a message, and I'll see you in the next one.